Have you ever came across somebody who's just always lucky? They're always at the right place at the right time. Opportunities seem to find them out of nowhere and everything just works for them. Well, the main disconnect between that person and you is the fact that they know how reality works and they know who the fuck they are. And in today's video, I'm gonna be going over how to become somebody reality obeys, right? Now, reality isn't trying to fight you. It's responding to your level of internal authority. So most people live like this, bro. Something happens, an emotion sparks, which is energy in motion, and then their identity adjusts. Their identity adjusts to the circumstance in which just faced them, right? Now, if you think about it, who is controlling that situation? Is it them or is it reality? Think about that shit. Now, this makes reality the leader. Whoever reacts first is not in control. The moment you look to the 3D for validation, you have lost your leverage over reality. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about why you make reality bend, not reality making you bend. Now, I'm pretty sure you don't want reality bending you over and giving you back shots. That's what we're trying to prevent in today's video. Now, the enemy of today's video is permission-based identity and self-image, right? When you always need permission to do some shit, you're never taking charge of your own life. You're always letting outside circumstances dictate who you are. If you really understand this manifestation, law of attraction, reality creation shit, you understand the fact that you create your own reality, not something outside of you that works one time and doesn't work again. You create your own fucking reality. So most people say, once this happens, I'll feel secure. I'll feel happy once this happens. This perpetuates reality to continue keeping you in a state of lack and limitation. Once you understand that this fake ass matrix construct is literally just a reflection of your internal self, your internal state, your identity in a projection of your own mind, you stop letting reality control you, bro. So assumption and conviction always precedes evidence and validation. Now, since this entire reality is built off of dualistic concepts, the 3D, right? There's duality in every fucking thing in this third dimension, but you have a superpower called your consciousness, called your awareness, right? Your awareness and your consciousness is in the fourth dimension, meaning you supersede everything in this realm. So when you conceptualize everything in this third dimension that your physical avatar experiences, you get to separate yourself from physical circumstances because you are a god. You have a superpower called your awareness. Now you have to see situations and yourself in reality in this way. Think about a boss and an employee. Think about a king versus servant, a leader versus a follower. Who are these people internally as an identity? These people tell these people what the fuck to do. The employees don't tell the boss what the fuck to do. If the employees told the boss what to do, he wouldn't be a motherfucking boss. He'll be an employee. He'll be a servant. A king does not act like a king because somebody told him to be a king. The king became the king because he was acting like a king. And if he wasn't acting like a king, that nigga gonna get overthrown and they gonna fry his ass. Say goodbye. So when you think about yourself as somebody who's worthy of controlling reality, when you see yourself as somebody who's worthy of experiencing this new degree of reality, you start to make reality bend to you. You start to emit a frequency reality responds to because you made the first move on the chessboard. Please understand that shit. A lot of people, they come into this information thinking that it's some magical shit. They think it's supposed to supersede all human limitations and they have to do zero work. That's false, bro. That is totally false. When you realize that you are the determining factor in your life for every single circumstance, assumption and conviction is where you start, not looking for the 3D for evidence and validation. The 3D is a delayed reflection of your previous consciousness and awareness. So how the fuck can this weak ass third dimensional construct tell you who the fuck you are? It can't. Only you can. And this is why you have the ability to visualize. This is why in the Bible, God said, seek first the kingdom of heaven and everything will be added onto you. Why did he say that? What made him write that in that book? He was trying to tell you the kingdom of heaven, which is in here, you can supersede everything in this motherfucking dimension. When you go within, trust self, and experience your new reality, it will reflect outwardly. It's a very simple equation, bro. You can look right now on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, any social media platform, even in daily life. You can see people experiencing the life that you want to fucking live. So obviously the problems that you're experiencing right now can be transcended. You're an infinite being. You're God consciousness. You're a projection and manifestation of the universe. So why would this little ass 3D circumstance completely fuck your entire existence? It can't. You are just giving that problem that level of power because you have that much power. Really conceptualize that shit. Now, another issue that most people come across is emotional reactivity. If you can let this situation make you emotionally reactive, it is moving you off your internal center. It is making you reactive. If I react to something, that means I deem that problem something that's above me, right? Let's say, for example, I'm fighting in the MMA, right? And I'm this 6'5", 250-pound monster, and walks in the ring a 5'3", 100-pound midget. Do you think I'm gonna stress about beating this nigga up? No, I'm not. I'm about to send this dude to the shadow realm, bro. It's straight barbecue chicken. Please understand that shit. You need to have this level of arrogance and conviction about your own ability to make your desired reality happen. For all manifestations require internal detachment and conviction. That is it. That is the entire formula, because manifestation in its entirety and definition is not being emotionally dependent upon seeing your reality change. Now, emotional dependency means reactivity. It means you're reacting to outside circumstances. If I'm reacting to some shit, it means it is attacking a core part of my identity, beliefs, and assumptions. Meaning this circumstance has leverage over how I see myself, and that is no good. And when people lack control, they often try to fix it with an excessive amount of physical action, but that's only keeping them in a deeper hole of lack and limitation. So now we're about to get into the perspective shifts and the things you need to know to make reality actually obey you. So if you want to stop getting pounded by reality, you have to do the pounding. So what you need to do is become the cause and not the effect. Reality responds to who you are being consistently, not what you want occasionally. Reality is a reflection of who you are, your frequency, your self-image, your identity, and your self-concept. So who you are at your deepest core, behind social media pages, behind all the validation, behind all of your material items and insecurities, who are you in the darkness where nobody can see at your deepest core? That is what's getting reflected and projected back to you. Not what you want, not what you want to experience, who you are at your deepest core. And who you are is being expressed through your habits, through your mental patterns, through your most consistent emotional patterns and reactions. These build your identity. So leaders cause, followers respond. Think about that shit, bro. Look at this YouTube video. Look at my YouTube page, my TikTok pages. I am making you niggas respond and interact with my content. I'm not following somebody. Hashtag lead, never follow. Shout out my nigga Chief Keef. So what you need to do, bro, if you want to do the pounding, you have to decide who you are, what is normal for you, and your internal state in the morning before reality has the chance to make you react. The first thing you need to do as soon as you wake up, as soon as you spawn back on this third dimensional reality, you have to tell yourself who the fuck you are, what is normal for you, and your internal state you want to occupy for the day before reality makes you reactive. Because look, bro, your frequency attracts everything you experience. You are not your third dimensional body or circumstances. And I'm gonna go into this when I flip this motherfucking board around, but I just want to give y'all an overview. You are not your third dimensional circumstances. For example, look at multi-millionaires. If you ask a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, or you go to motherfucking School of Hard Knocks, shout out my nigga that run the School of Hard Knocks. If you go watch his YouTube videos, every motherfucker he talks to, they know for a fact that they was gonna be in the position that they're in. They had zero doubt that they were gonna make it big or make hella bread or build this multi-billion-dollar company. They had 100% conviction and belief in themselves to make that reality happen, and reality just conformed to that inner assumption. This is for anything. Athletes, entrepreneurs, actors, artists, they knew that they were gonna be in that position before they had the physical evidence. Identity always precedes the outcome. If it didn't, then where the fuck are the outcomes and the results coming from? They just didn't spawn out of thin air. Really think about that shit, bro. So last but not least, this is how you embody the version of yourself that is doing the pounding of reality. So what you need to do is embody the observer position. So I want to make this one thing very clear, bro. You are not your third dimensional circumstances. Simply because of the fact you can observe that you're in this third dimension, you cannot be of it. You are just simply the observer. Please understand that shit, bro. So your observer precedes your identity, and your identity leads to the circumstance, not backwards. The circumstance doesn't fucking define you. When you observe without collapsing, you lead. Understand that, bro. You tell reality what the fuck to do by being who you truly are. That's it. That's it. You don't need outside proof to be who you truly want to become. You don't need other people to validate you and tell you you're doing something right to become who you truly want to become. You do that shit first and let these niggas tell you you doing a good job. That's all you gotta do, bro. So since you exist on a spiritual, mental, and physical plane, like I said, you cannot be of these three things. You are the fucking observer. Understand that shit. So you're playing in a movie as a character with a script, but you are not of it. You can change the movie at any time. You can change what you see at any time you want to, as long as you have the correct identity aligned with that reality. If you read Parallel Universes itself, he talks about how your visualization is a tool to access multiple parallel universes because you're a multi-dimensional being. You're literally tapping into the state of consciousness that identity would experience that reality. That is all you're doing when you visualize. You're literally just tapping into an alternate version of yourself that's experienced a different degree of reality with a different state of consciousness. And you're just taking that state of consciousness and embodying it right now and getting those same results that that new identity will have. That's all you're doing. You're just changing your internal state without prior proof of reality, because all of this shit was a delayed reflection. You're literally just changing your internal state of consciousness and awareness. That is all that is. Now you have the full blueprint to start fucking reality, bro. It's not that hard, I promise you. But if you want to stop getting like ran over by physical circumstances, you want to stop wavering, you want to stop getting clapped by your old frequency, this is what you got to do. It's literally a perspective shift. I'm not teaching you niggas any new information. It's literally just a perspective shift. And when you switch the leverage in each interaction, in each circumstance that comes your way, you can start doing the fucking and stop getting fucked by reality. So with all that being said, bro, if you're having trouble making manifestation consistent, I have a free ebook in my description where I clearly explain how to make this shit consistent and do it over and over again. Link in description. Go tap into the ebook, bro.